Dice Tournament 20. USURY. Is it good or is it evil? Let's find out. Close. Close to a solid. Dice. Celebrities. Chance. Glory. Dice Tournament. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Dice Tournament 20. Today, USURY. Is it good or is it evil? It's come into my purview. It's come into my frame of reference as a word recently. If you don't know what it is, we can just Wikipedia it. I actually did, or I Googled it before. An illegal action or practice of lending money at an unreasonably high interest rate. An illegal practice. There was in some cultures, in some people groups, in some even religious contexts, there was rules or laws against borrowing money at high interest. Not everybody abides by it. And so nowadays, we don't even talk about USURY. We don't even talk about the fact that we could, as a people, say, we don't want this practice to happen anymore. But we still do. And I'm going to talk about my current experience because I'm kind of going through it right this minute, trying to rent a car and trying to go on a trip with my son. God bless America. It's simple here. Let me tell you about it in a bit. But let's first tell you about Dice Tournament. Dice Tournament is a 36-player tournament in which we are currently in a season called Good versus Evil. It is a 7-year, a season is 7 years. This is clunky. Thanks for bearing with me. Teams were drafted. Dice Tournament 15 was the very first Good versus Evil. God representing good, Shaitan representing evil. Generally, I'm from a very Abrahamic faith worldview, so a lot of my religious entities and also pop culture references are Western. Anyway, for whatever that means. Anyways, God, represented by, regardless, we don't need to talk about what he's represented by. They drafted teams. God is a team. Shaitan is a team. This is actually the 6th season of Dice Tournament Good versus Evil, and Evil is up 5-1. And so God actually threw a Hail Mary during the last Dice Tournament in which he introduced something called God's Good Gift. If you make it out of the elimination round into the finals, you will get an 8-sided die, which means you have an advantage in the finals. But this is our bracket. This blue side on the left is good side. This red side on the right is evil. And so ultimately we are using dice as a tool of divinity to answer the question, is USURY good or evil? Let's find out together. But first, in Dice Tournament, 3 people are eliminated every season. So these are the 3 newcomers to our tournament. It is Sergeant Slaughter, Mo Salah, and Divine. Now, admittedly, there is not a good gender mixture going on here. And so I wouldn't be surprised if season 4 were a men versus women kind of setup. Or some, whatever. I don't know. I'm not predicting. This is not a prediction show. It's a dice show. And it's a dice show that's on Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and YouTube. I tried really hard. No, I didn't try super hard, but I tried to get on Instagram. But so the draft goes like this. God is represented by a starry general dice, and Shaitan is black and red. And so all the action takes place in the hexagon. Even our live stream is taking place in the hexagon. But this is how it's going to go. So Sergeant Slaughter is up for grabs first. God and Shaitan are each going to roll a dice. Whoever rolls higher is drafting Sergeant Slaughter. Dice Tournament 20 has begun, and it starts with a tie. There's a lot of threesomes in Dice Tournament. And so the rules on ties, gosh, you can't see that. The rules on ties are, if there is a tie, everyone gets to reroll. So this is God. God has taken Sergeant Slaughter, which I think is maybe no surprise. These days it feels like America is sort of like God's representative in the world, or like Christian God. And they're also very Sergeant Slaughter. Anyways, or they like war. Maybe that's what I'll say. So Mosalah and Divine by default are going to Shaitan's side of the bracket to represent evil. And we're almost ready to roll here. We almost have our bracket set. You weren't able to see that, but I was doing some rearranging here. So we've all been drafted. These are the teams, 18 players on each side. That gets boiled down to a round of 12. 12 gets boiled down to 3 into the finals. And on the bottom of this bracket is the elimination round. And to figure out which parts of the bracket are up for elimination in Dice Tournament 20, we're going to roll dice. Red and blue, 1 through 6, to see which bracket won on the blue side. So Cleopatra, Malcolm X, and the yellow Power Ranger are part of the elimination bracket on the blue side, and red is a 5. And so LeBron, Wemby, and Evie. And that's really interesting because LeBron James, in Dice Tournament 19, Shaft won. And so what does that mean? That was actually Shaft's second victory. And so, why did I want to say that? Oh, because Shaft became, during Dice Tournament 19, the second 2-time champion. The first was actually LeBron James. And so here we are. LeBron is entering the elimination bracket with Wemby and Evie. And so that's a lot. Okay, so we're going to get going on our good side here. Again, this is to answer the question, usury. Is usury good or evil? And I'm going to tell my personal story of interest, credit, money, access, privilege after the first round of the good side. So we got Cleopatra, and this is the elimination bracket. Malcolm X, Cleopatra, and Yellow Ranger. Malcolm X, Cleopatra, Yellow Ranger. Winner moves on. Losers potentially are going home for good. That's Cleopatra with a victory. And so Cleopatra actually has been so solid during this whole season. I feel she's won the majority of this bracket. So these threesomes don't change during Good versus Evil. Essentially, some people get eliminated, but these threesomes have been, since Dice Tournament 15, this has been the layout of the bracket. You fight for God's team. It's a tournament. At the end, there's 3 people to see who wins. All right, so Malcolm X and Yellow Ranger are actually moving down to the elimination bracket. So that's a little bit, I will be honest and tell you, I don't want either of these fools, I don't want either of these folks to go home. It's not easy to say goodbye. It's not easy to say goodbye. It's not easy to say goodbye to privilege either. More from that coming soon. All right, so here we go. Jane Doe. This is, I'm not going to say her name, but in her testimony of our president, she admits to multiple rapes and people like my family either don't listen to it or don't care. And so to Jane Doe, I'm sorry that my country has fucked you over. We don't even have the word usury anymore. All right, Jane Doe, Joe Rogan, Rabbi Friedman. Rabbi Friedman is the owner of Pornhub. Yep. I fight rabbis' demons pretty regularly. All right, so that 5 was on top. But what am I going to say about that? Does it count if you're on top of somebody else's dice? No. I make these rules. Sorry, Joe. Not today. We're giving Jane Doe another shot. Even if the podcasters and rabbis won't. 4-5-2. And then look at that. You give him a shot, and he moves on. He's going to take on Cleopatra in the round of 12. And this, again, this is jokes. I'm a jester. I think that these topics are very serious and should be taken serious. I don't think we should allow dice to tell us what good and evil is. We haven't had any music yet. Joe Rogan got screwed there. Joe Rogan got screwed. And if you didn't know, Joe Rogan owns this walk-up music now because he beat down Stone Cold's ass in Dice Tournament 8. That for sure was not the number, but it did happen. And if you're sick of this, if you're bored and you want me to just... I can, because we got a long way to go. Yeah. All right, so that was Jane Doe, Joe Rogan, and Rabbi Friedman. And that turned out exactly as it was supposed to. Up next is Ron in the red and yellow. Kanye in the purple and gold. Pluto with this beautiful stone dice. Here we go. Pluto made the thumbnail for the USURY stream. Why? Because also, I'm pretty sure that people that practice high interest rates in a lot of, or in some iterations of society, were run out of town. So they can ruin your infrastructure. I don't know. I don't know how to speak about it. I am not super qualified, but I do know it's worth talking about and asking questions about. And I'm going to tell you about my experience soon with USURY. All right, so I think Ron won. Ron has proven to be good. I think he's won in 19 and 20. I don't have those stats pulled up. I'm not stat heavy anymore. It used to be, when we first started Dice Tournament, it was just celebrities for a winner. Then I started adding seasons, where it was East versus West, because I realized there was a lot of just Western people that were winning. And then we went to Good versus Evil, and now we started to ask a question, because frankly, like on YouTube and things of this nature, you need to have something that's going to make people click. People were not clicking to just watch a guy play dice in his room. And so maybe if I talk about taboo topics and we let the dice decide, maybe then people would watch. Anyway, we got a newcomer here. The dice. Harry Potter has kind of a lemonade color dice. And Joe Hill in the blue sky dice. Here we go, folks. This is for the good side. Sergeant Slaughter, Harry Potter, Joe Hill. USURY. Is it good or is it evil? I know that Sergeant Slaughter is for sure fighting for the good boys to say it's good. And so Joe Hill, representative of workers' rights, of labor, is taking on Ron. One of the maybe somebody at the opposite end of the spectrum. I feel McDonald's is a very just like productivity, fuck people kind of environment. I don't know. But I do know that McDonald's doesn't own any cattle farms. But they do own hospitals. Yum. All right, so up next is Oliver Tree, Bobby Lee, and Sneeko. Oliver Tree in the white dice. Bobby Lee bright green. Sneeko is green and yellow. So here we go. Roll number 1. Good side. Tournament 20. Yikes. We got a jumper. All right. Oliver Tree's coming down with a chance for a jackass. Wow. Folks, it's getting a little wild here. We gotta take it easy. 4-2-4, we got a tie. All that rigmarole for a tie. Oliver Tree, Bobby Sneeko. 5-1-5. Sneeko moves on. That's cool. I No, not to the semifinals. He's going here. I like Sneeko. I don't know a ton about him. I know that he is Muslim. I know he's a streamer. I think he's part of the manosphere, so to speak, which maybe we could do a good or evil on the manosphere. Oh, maybe in the next round with men versus women. Could be. But how do people like Divine, drag queens, LGBTQ, do we gender them? Do we throw them in? Or would I be an asshole for throwing them on the men's side? All these questions. I'm going to find the answers because I go all the way. Anyway, let's roll the dice. All right, up next is Joker, Ali Wong, and God. This is the last round on the good side, and then I will tell my USURY story because I know people have been just hanging on that. That was a hook. This guy's going to talk about interest and money and privilege. I want that. I want to hear that. All right, here we go. Joker takes down God and Ali Wong. So Joker will face Sneeko in the round of 12. I booked a flight to Miami for me and my son. I think it was so cheap because I think that I'm flying on March 28th, which is the No Kings protest. And I guess I believe money doesn't like protest. Anyway, it might. Regardless, I think there's an advantage to getting people to fly. I don't know why I'm saying all this, but I'm going to Miami. And I wanted to book a car. But I don't have a credit card. I don't have a credit card because I had close to $60,000 of debt and my interest kept accumulating and I just was unable to catch up anymore. And so I needed to close down some accounts and transition them into like payment plans. So I no longer have credit. That's not exactly true. I'm at lower interest rates than like normal because I needed help. Because of that, I don't have a credit card. And because of that, you can't rent cars from a lot of companies. And so I've kind of spent 3 to 4 hours, which may speak more to my abilities than the issue, but I've spent a lot of hours trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. I know there's a couple car companies that allow you to use a debit card. So that for me is advantageous because I don't have to use a credit card. And the truth is I don't even have one. But in this process, I took out another one. So now I have a $7,000 credit card sitting there waiting to be used. Interest. USURY. And so what I'm faced with, or what I see as a consumer in America, is if you choose to just live on your own, even if that's still at the behest of Wells Fargo, if I just use my debit card, I'm paying roughly $200 to $300 more for a car rental than if I could rent one with a credit card. And so money finds a way to also make it beneficial for you to borrow. It's so manipulative. And I'm trying not to fall for it anymore. And we also don't have a movement or a people group saying like, fuck these hoes. I know they say no kings, but there's countries you can't even speak out against. But is it evil? We're going to find out. We're going to let the dice decide. We're going to go to the evil side now to find out if USURY is evil. All right, we got Mosa Law, who's new. I'm not sure what soccer team he plays for, but he plays soccer. Divine, sparkly pink dice. Divine, a famous drag queen from John Waters' world. I don't know the movies. I don't even know the scene very well, but I just know of Divine. So here we go. Erica Kirk, Divine, Mosa Law, representing evil. 5-4-6. Erica Kirk takes down our newly christened players, Mosala and Divine. And next up is going to be Margaret Atwood, Shaft, and Simabina. I don't think I have any of Simabina's music. I really would like to. I've become quite interested in Persian jazz, at least some YouTube videos that I follow on YouTube. Anyways, I don't have anybody I specifically like or call out or recommend, but upon Googling Persian jazz musicians, Simabina's name came up quite a bit. And so Simabina, Shaft, Margaret Atwood. Shaft and Margaret Atwood are both 2-time Dice Tournament champions. Margaret Atwood won Dice Tournament 0, which is not calculated in the stats, but the truth is we're not even using stats, so what am I even talking about? It's like we can't even keep track of our interest. There's so much interest. It's just something. There's interest in this program too, I think. Margaret Atwood, Shaft, Simabina, and there's no question at all that it would go. I spoke too soon, folks. Simabina also threw a 6. So it is not. It's not Shaft yet. We got a tie. Roll number 2. We got a 3, we got a 5, we got a 2. Simabina. Simabina has triumphed. Persian jazz musician Simabina will take on Erica Kirk in the round of 12. Up next is going to be Timothy Chalamet, Osho, and Rose. This is most of these people in this bracket I got a crush on in some capacity. Timothy, I definitely got a crush on. Rose, I definitely got a crush on. Osho, I definitely got a crush on. You know, different ways, they got different things they offer, but I'm crushing on this bracket. Here we go. Timothy Chalamet, Rose, Osho. 2, 2, 3. That's Osho. Osho has advanced. Osho of the is Bhagwan Rajneesh, also one of his names, I believe. Was a leader of the Rajneeshi, a religious group of people that found out that the freedom of religion isn't real. And now I also have found out freedom of speech isn't very real. And also, there's not people protecting me from usury like there used to be. That was a part of our society. We get it, but even on the words. Usury. The word is usury. Okay, so AI, Ariana Grande, and Olivia Rodrigo. It's blue, purple, and white. Olivia Rodrigo. We got walk-up music for her. Let's do it. AI with a chance for a jackass. AI pulls a jackass, but it was not enough. He was able to flip Ariana, but I called AI he. I don't think it fucking matters. We're going to call it a she because we need more women in this bitch. All right, AI is going to take on Osho, and that's fun. That's a fun match. So you'll notice AI has no physical representation. AI is not a physical being. Here we go. We're at our elimination bracket, and it's a highly contested one. It is Evie of Japan and 2 players of basketball. All right, Wemby is black and gray. LeBron is yellow, and Evie is brown. Here we go. Dice tournament, basketball style. Coming in 2-5-1. That's a Wemby victory. So Evie and LeBron are moving to the elimination bracket, and this is a tragedy. LeBron and Malcolm X, the Yellow Ranger, and Evie. I love all these freaking players, but they are all one roll away from elimination. Dice tournament is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the faint of heart. LeBron, one of a very few that have been here since the beginning. Joe Rogan, Bobby Lee. One more. Margaret Atwood. And LeBron James. 4 people that are, these are the originals. Anyway, I'm still talking. All right, so we're going to go not to the elimination round. We're going to go to our rounds of 12 to see who's going to make the semifinals. And our very first one on the good side is Cleopatra and Rabbi Solomon Friedman. Rabbi Friedman in the traditional black and white. Cleopatra, a purple and white dye. Here we go, folks. Roll number 1. To represent good in the battle against or for usury. Rabbi Friedman is pro-usury. I'm not sure how Pornhub makes money. Definitely by attention, and they, assuming they kind of mine our data or whatever the fuck. But I read recently a quote from someone online that said, "I pay for adult content I pay for my adult content like an adult." Something to this effect. And it kind of made me examine my relationship with pornography. And the fact that I just expect it to always all be available and to not have to pay for it. It feels like it's not good. It feels like it's not good. I heard, I don't know the truth of this, but the pornography was one of the first things that Hitler axed in terms of his actions. Pornography. All right. Ron is up against Joe Hill. This is workers' rights versus the clown to disguise you or to distract you from the workers. Ron, Joe Hill. 5 and a 4. Joe Hill triumphant. And that's amazing. I mean, if it was Ron, Rabbi F. Anyway, it's heating up here, folks. It's fucking heating up. It's our last round of 12. Sneeko and Joker. One of these folks will go to the semis to represent God on the good team. So here we go. Green and yellow. Black is Joker. Sneeko versus Joker. Go to the semifinals. It's a 2 and a 2. We got ourselves a tie. Sneeko, Joker, roll 2. It's a 6 and a 2. Sneeko has moved on. It's Sneeko, Rabbi Solomon Friedman, and Joe Hill. Workers' rights, Muslim streamer, Rabbi, Pornhubby. All right. We're going to the evil side. Thanks for joining me. I do this because I've always done something like this. It's what it is it's competition for fun that I can do but on my own. I would often make brackets of my friends and celebrities, and I would flip a coin or play a basketball game. Some way to just add some drama and talk about these people and have some stats. It's kind of just like the bread and circus of our society. I like it. I consumed a lot of it, and so now I'm just making it. But I don't want to just distract from the world and or just be a pawn for all the money of the world to get your attention. What do I want? I want friends, and I want a good relationship with my kids, and I want my kids to live in a healthy, safe, beautiful place. Freedom. That's what I want. So here we go. Oh, I forgot to roll one of the original 12. We're gonna have to go back, but we're gonna run with Erica Kirk Simabina here. We got two powerful women representing Shaitan in the fight against USURY. Simabina has advanced, and she will move to the semifinals. Up next is gonna be Osho versus AI, which I love. That's good. People talk that AI is like a god. It's gonna be a god, or it could be God. Dude, I don't know. I think I'd rather have an Osho if you know. All right, this is a beautiful throw. These are beautiful dice. AI versus Osho. Roll 1 goes to AI. AI was unable to get out of the first round, the first couple of dice tournaments, but now they have made it. And so here's where my mistake came in. I didn't roll this final match on the bad side, which is Kanan, Ilhan, Shaitan. Kanan, Ilhan is blue and yellow, or blue and copper, gold, kind of. All right, Johan is a dice tournament champion. Kanan is the Dusty for Philosopher. He's got a waka music, so let's play that. How about? You can't see it. Or can you? Yeah, you can actually. So that gold dice, it actually says on it, Lauren and John, I filmed weddings, and this was a trinket given at Lauren and John's wedding. Their wedding was really beautiful. It was in the woods, and they had just like, there was a lot of heart. The people were there, loved them, and it was just like fun, and I don't know, it was a really beautiful day. And I think that part of my life, filming weddings, was beautiful. I don't participate in it anymore because I'm busy figuring out if USURY is good or evil, trying to save my kids. Here we go. Wemby, Kanan to be the final representative of evil in the fight against USURY. And so look at that. Kanan bumps Wemby. And so now Wemby's a leaner, and so Wemby's got to re-roll. So here we go. Wemby with a chance for a jackass. He doesn't pull the jackass, but he does pull a 5, and so Wemby is moving on. So it's Wemby, Simabina, and AI to represent Shaitan in the semifinals. But before we get to the finals, we're going to our elimination bracket. Right? Really exciting. All right, so here's how it's going to be. That camera's not amazing, but I think it'll probably be okay. All right, so Yellow Ranger and Malcolm X. Look at this. Okay, so Yellow Ranger is going to actually be yellow and pink. I think that works because this was Pink Ranger spot at one point. So I say that because LeBron is also yellow, and so we need a little bit of a distinction. LeBron and Evie are ready to go. Malcolm X and Yellow Ranger ready to go. It's the total cumulative score of each player. So we got a 1, we got a 5, we got a 6. That is 7 versus 10. LeBron, no. Yellow Ranger and Malcolm X move on. Yellow Ranger and Malcolm X move on. LeBron and Evie have been eliminated from Dice Tournament for good. LeBron made it 20 seasons, 2 championships. Really impressive. Evie never won, but did make a couple of cute thumbnails. All right, so Yellow Ranger and Malcolm X is a 1 roll-off to see who's going to be back in the finals of Dice Tournament 20. And as a reminder, God's good gift is at play. And so if whoever wins this will get an 8-sided die in which to participate in the finals of Dice Tournament 20. The loser will be eliminated to be no longer part of Dice Tournament. Here we go. 1 roll. 4 to 5. That is a Malcolm X victory. And so the yellow Power Ranger is moving on, is going home. And Malcolm X will have an 8-sided die to represent God in the fight for usury. Is usury good or is it evil? So far, Malcolm X gets the first word. Who else is it going to be? Well, we're going to go to our semifinal here. It is, no. Rabbi Solomon Friedman, Joe Hill, and Sneeko. Is one role to determine who will go to the finals. Sneeko, Rabbi Solomon Friedman, or Joe Hill. Here we go. 5-4. Sneeko is not in the hexagon. So, where is it? Oh gosh, we don't know. All right, I gotta find him. All right, well, unfortunately, I just don't see it. And I don't want to throw another one. I want Sneeko to be able to have it. What the heck? What the heck, Bobby? Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. Sneeko. Sneeko comes in at the end with a 6. Oh, wow. All right, Sneeko and Malcolm X are God's representatives to say that usury is good. And who will represent evil? To say that usury is evil? We're going to find out in our last semifinal match here, which is Simabina, AI, and Wemby. And I'm here to tell you there is very little AI involved in this show. There has been in the past. I've had it write me a script to try to build some drama. I've had it write my freaking YouTube descriptions. But like on radio these days, they say 100% human. I think I'm at like 94%. So thanks for watching The Humans. Still making content. Still fucking trying. All right, 37 minutes. We're going to be done quick. Here we go. This is to go to the finals. Simabina, AI, Wemby. 6-3. All right, so we got a leaner. Can you see that black one? Wemby is kind of leaning. So Wemby has a shot here, but he's going to have to either roll a 6 or flip AI's 6. Can he do it? He doesn't, and so AI advances. Okay, so AI is evil's only hope. So it's Sneeko, Malcolm X, and AI. To answer the question, is usury good or is it evil? Okay, so Malcolm X is not going to be that black dice. Malcolm X is this 8-sided blue dice. AI is blue and gold, and Sneeko is green and blue. So this is green and yellow, forgive me. Here we go. It's a blue-green final. Sneeko, Malcolm X, AI. It is a best-of-3 series. Malcolm X has been given God's good gift of an 8-sided die. It all comes down to this, folks. We've gone all the way. We go all the way. Four. We got another leaner. Look at this. I don't know if this shows up well on camera, but guys, that green one is leaning up against that blue. And if it just fell, it would have won, because look at, that's a 3 and a 1. And so Sneeko's got a chance here, but he's got to not knock that blue dice. Can he do it? He doesn't, and he pulls a 6. Sneeko is up 1-0 on Malcolm X and AI. Will Sneeko go all the way? I don't know. We're going to find out. And the only way we're going to find out is if we need to roll the dice. Here we go. Roll 2. Dice Tournament 20. Potentially the final roll. Sneeko, Malcolm X, and AI. Malcolm X gets 1. Sneeko 1. Malcolm X 1. God's good gift came through there as Malcolm X pulled a 7. So here we go. AI has one last chance to say usury is evil. Will AI fight for humanity and say that usury is illegal or say that it's evil? Look at this. Humans are at the behest of AI to determine if they're being manipulated in their money usage. 8-4-3. It was 4-4-3, but God's good gift comes through. Malcolm X has 1. Which means usury is good. That's what the dice have determined. As Malcolm X taste dice determined 20. There should be some kind of last word. Maybe Malcolm X says something. Let's see. No. I can't do it, folks. I'm not here to produce it. The dice say that usury is good. I think in some ways it's good to have freedom. And so I guess maybe there should be freedom to take advantage of people with money. But these days, even for just a trip with your kids, it feels as if you're at a disadvantage. That money is going to ultimately get you somehow. But Malcolm X is actually a beautiful person, and I think they're very wise. And now they're a dice tournament champion. Sneeko and AI. That was fun. That was good fun. That last roll, 4-3-3. I thought it was, maybe I thought it was an 8. Regardless, that's the end of it. Dice tournament 20 is over. Thanks for watching. Let's play this intro video one more time. Dice. Celebrities. Chance. Glory. Dice tournament.